Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to talk about this Abyss and Nexus Crystal and Abyss rewards buff in general, how exactly it is going to look like and what are my personal objective thoughts about it. So first and foremost, let's just quickly read the announcement. Let's get straight to it. So summoners, as mentioned a little while ago, we're going to be updating the rewards for 100% exploring of Abyss of Legends to give players more agency over what they gain from completing this monumental task. We will be adding the brand new Abyss Crystal Selector to the rewards for 100% exploration of Abyss of Legends. When activated, the Abyss Crystal Selector will allow you to choose one of the exclusive Abyss Nexus 6-star class crystals. Once opened, these very special crystals will allow you to choose 1 out of 10 champions pulled from the crystal pool of available champions of specific class. To balance the addition of this powerful new selector, the number of 6-star shards obtained from 100% exploration will be reduced to 30,000 from 45,000 6-star shards. This change takes place on June 25th. Summoners will have already 100% explored all of Abyss of Legends will receive the Abyss Crystal Selector within a few days of this change being made. So first and foremost, I think it's important that we acknowledge the good that Kabam does, and this is a type of thing that we're asking for. We have been campaigning for less dependency of the RNG and more ways how to target champions, or how more say in what our accounts look like. And this, as flimsy, as comically poorly executed step in the right direction. So this is the type of crystal that obviously is rare, that we're going to see for the first time. It's basically Nexus Crystal on steroids, because not only you get to choose the class, there's going to be 10 champions, and when you do the math, it gives you approximately 40% chance or so to target a specific champion, and that is the highest we have and probably will ever see in this game, and that's kind of cool. However, unfortunately, and I'm going to explain the math behind it a bit later and the RNG aspect of it. But point is, even though Abyss rewards buff wasn't something that we campaigned for, Kabam themselves must have realized that it's not going as well as they thought they would with Abyss, and they decided to buff it, which is good. Any rewards buff at its pure base is a good thing, and for that, I am happy. I am grateful that they're giving us more. But there is a lot of criticism that can be addressed, and I'm not meaning this in kind of malicious way at all. Objectively, sitting back, I can see so many fundamental flaws with this that it leads me to believe that the person who came up with this is a bit of a shithead. What do I mean by that? First and foremost, if they actually listen to community's feedback, then knowing that another 6-star champion, or it's not even another 6-star champion, we're going to get to that in a bit. Basically, greater control over what we pull is awesome, but in terms of Abyss, players' expectations were more in terms of tier 5 class catalyst, or ideally tier 5 class catalyst selector, and that is pretty much what everybody was kind of wishing for, campaigning for, the rank of materials themselves, because realistically acquiring tier 5 class catalyst is so much harder than it is to getting 10,000 or 15,000 6-star shards. So this buff in itself isn't quite as significant as most people would have had hoped it will be, because at end of the day you get nothing extra, nothing gets buffed. In reality, if you are somebody who opens 6-star basic crystals like I normally do, you even technically end up losing 5,000 6-star shards, because they are removing 15,000 6-star shards from the rewards. But obviously, a 6-star crystal is 10,000 6-star shards. Obviously, not saying this crystal wouldn't be worth paying 15,000 or even 20,000 6-star shards, but that's besides the point. The point is that completing Abyss will still give you exactly the same amount of 6-stars, exactly the same amount of catalysts that you did before. Only thing that will effectively change is going to be, yes, over one of these pools you're going to have greater control than you did before, but it still doesn't kind of scream that the rewards got insane buff. The rewards got a slight adjustment, fine-tuning, but not an insane like cool buff or anything like that. But still, it is a step in the right direction, so it's important to keep that in mind. Next thing I want to mention is that out of all the ways Kabam could have given us a chance to target a specific champion, this arguably is pretty much one of the worst ones. First and foremost, because there on average is about 25 champions a class, 20 to 25. I think something like that sounds about right. I might be off a bit, but hey. So that means you have approximately, let's say I'm doing like very loose math over here. If let's say you select I don't know, Cosmic class, and if Cosmic class has 25 champions, you get 10 of those randomly pop up. Means you have about 40% chance for the champion that you're looking for to pop up, and you have about 60% chance to fail. So not vast majority, but majority of the people, or let's say at least half of the people, will still be frustrated with this crystal because they will not get what they are looking for. Obviously, out of 10 champions, the chances of not getting quote-unquote a great champion are very slim and tiny, but when it comes to, let's say, taking up 6 stars to rank 3, or 6 stars, that 6-star champion that you are hunting for a dupe, for instance, you have to be specific. It's not kind of, I hope I'll pull either that, and that. For instance, if you have, I don't know, an unduped ghost, and you don't have any other good tech champions, and you're gonna go for tech class, hoping that you can dupe ghost, there's still a 50-50 shot that you're not gonna pull the ghost. Yes, you might get a warlock, or you might get I don't know, Darkhawk or somebody else that is good in tech class, but that does not necessarily guarantee that your ghost is going to get dupe, and that again doesn't guarantee that you will in fact have a champion that you want to invest your rank up materials in and rank it up. Because yeah, pick a mutant class for instance, you might be hunting for Namor dupe, but Namor doesn't pop up and Omega Red pops up. Obviously Omega Red is a great champion, but neither unduped Namor or Omega Red is going to be a champion you want to take up to rank 3. So there's still extremely huge chance that you're going to leave this crystal opening extremely disappointed, and it will not be beneficial for you depending the circumstance on your individual account. Another, perhaps the most important issue is completely backwards order of the way you have to select the class, because effectively how it's going to look like, and we're going to scroll down here to Kabam Mike's post first, and then I'm going to revisit the thread. But the point being is this. Anyway, you can show an example of how this works. Do we pick 1 in 6 classes with the selector, then we pick 1 in 10 champions with Nexus? Do we have to choose a selector before we would get to open 2 tier 5 CC? I'm 100% already, but this seems like an important distinction. And that is a very big distinction. That is correct. You choose a class, then you can receive this Nexus Crystal, and only then you get to go and open your tier 5 class catalyst crystals. So it means upon the time of choosing which class you are gonna pick this Nexus Crystal off, you have absolutely no way of knowing what tier 5 class catalyst crystal, what tier 5 class catalyst you will shortly have once you open these 2 crystals. And that again is just an extremely dirty way how to mess people around. For instance, you have the best chance of duping or pulling somebody, I don't know, in tech class. You go open tier 5 class catalyst, you're going to pull Cosmic and Science. Then it serves to a reason that you would have wanted to pick a champion of Science or Cosmic class, this crystal, because those are the champions that you can actually rank up. Now, exploring the Abyss, you have no way of knowing what class catalyst you're going to get, therefore you have no way of knowing which class champions you will be able to rank up, and potentially, if not completely waste this amazing crystal, you're going to put the amount of time when this crystal actually benefited you far back. Because don't get me wrong, pulling a great champion is always good, but if you don't have the rank up materials for that class, it doesn't help you all that much. So again, it's kind of like the same situation what they did with tier 5 class catalyst selector 25% one with Act 6, where the order where you obtain these is so important that it completely undermines the underlying thought process. would it have been so hard for Kabam to actually do something nice for players and let us see what resources we have before we have to make a decision of what class we are going to choose? I don't think there is that big of a quote-unquote coding issue. If there is the problem that Selector has to be used the moment you obtain it, then they might have given you simple crystal in which you can find a selector, in which you can find a crystal, for instance, right? They can just add in this one extra layer where you don't have to make a decision immediately. But in this case, as soon as you get it, you have to make a choice. And that's wrong. That's very, very wrong. And that is going to mess around a lot of people. And now, possibly, let's get to the most annoying bit in this whole announcement that will trigger a lot of people, and rightfully so. To balance the addition of this powerful new selector, the number of 6-star shards obtained for 100% exploration will be reduced from 30,000 to 30,000 from 45. So they're taking away 15,000 6-star shards. But if you have explored Abyss of Legends, you're just gonna get this crystal on top. So there are two things that immediately seem problematic to me. First and foremost, Kabam is in the typical bare minimum mentality mode, which I've spoken about a couple of videos back, where Kabam just how to instinctively ruin and shit on the cake that they are trying to serve the players. As in, like, they can put in a lot of effort, a lot of thought, and perhaps even quite a bit of good thought, as in kind of like good intent, into doing something, but then they have to sit down and just put a steaming pile of crap on top of it that kind of completely ruins the taste of this well-intended surprise cake. And what I mean by that, obviously, is, for instance, Variant 4 is one of the best contents Kabam ever released, but they made 1-star Hulk an absolutely mandatory requirement, and then for more than half a year they are refusing to give this Hulk away in any other way outside of very, very horrible cash grab scamming crystals. So Variant 4 is amazing, but there's still a large group of people who hate Variant 4 because they can't get 1-star Hulk. Something as simple, as silly as 1-star Hulk absolutely ruined cake that was Variant 4. Kabam introduced these alliance tickets, which reduced the cost of alliance quests for everyone, which is awesome. Great cake. But then Kabam takes away gold for map 6 entirely, and a significant amount for map 5, which, yes, still makes those maps somewhat slightly cheaper depending on how you purchase your tickets, but still just completely serves to ruin this cake and is another small scammy cash grabby kind. Not cash grabby, it's just petty at this point, petty move to do. Kabam messes up Captain Marvel fight in Abyss of Legends. They don't want to compensate for it, then they turn around and say, here's a compensation cake, right? But then they make sure that as little people as possible get it. And I have never met another company that tries so hard to shit on their own kind of like best intentions than Kabam does, so I find it quite hysterical. But anyways, point being is, yes, you're losing 15,000 6-star shards. And again, depending how you look at things, theoretically, you can even say that you're losing 5,000 6-star shards as a total amount of rewards. And realistically, the total amount you earn from exploring Abyss is not going to change whatsoever. You still get same amount of tier 5 class catalysts, you still get same amount of awakening gems, and you still get same amount of champions. Because, for whatever reason, it would make it unbalanced for people to have extra 6-star, except if you are a whale, except if you are overachiever, except if you already have a great account and you have managed to explore Abyss already. Because Abyss hasn't been out for all that long, and only people who have 100% explored Abyss would be your stereotypical quote-unquote whales, pay-to-win players, just more dedicated summoners, so on and so forth. So chances are that that is a group of players who have the most stacked accounts, who have the best access to everything already, and they get this crystal extra. Like, I'm gonna get this crystal extra. I finished Abyss in first week, and I'm just getting this crystal now added, sent to me in mail, which from my perspective obviously is fine, but it's sometimes important to take a step back and decide how this looks from outside of the window. And from outside of the window, if you are somebody who's working towards acquiring the champions to explore Abyss, or just working towards farming units and revives to get the Abyss done and explored, you're gonna see this as somebody who already has better account, somebody who has probably more money than you, getting 15,000 extra 6-star shards compared to you for doing the same exact amount of work. And that has to be infuriating. And this could be completely avoided if Kabam wouldn't be penny fucking every single 6-star shard they give out. So again, I don't understand why Kabam is so insistent on shitting on their own best intention cakes, kind of like, because now there is a large group, because realistically vast majority of the players have not explored Abyss of Legends, and no matter how you spin, twist or turn it, from their perspective it's always going to look like they are losing 15,000 6-star shards in relation to the summoners who already are ahead of them in the game progression wise, or who are spending more or whatever, and that's just have to piss so many people off. So we can take a look at community reaction to all of these changes, and it hasn't been overly positive. So first and foremost, let's take a look at this post. I can't see agree and disagree, but I think there were like 30 disagrees already and 3 lols and no agrees on this announcement post. And you wonder why people are leaving the game, or maybe you don't. You take away 15k for people who are just so much immediate bad feedback, right? and they do this to themselves. They do this to themselves with these small details, with these small piles of steaming shit on top of their best intentions. They just manage to piss off so many people that it's amazing. It's quite astonishing to read through it all. If you haven't, just definitely jump to the forums and check it out for yourselves. But yeah, and that is kind of like about it, I guess. So I think it's a shit decision to take away 15,000 6-star shards, because it's only going to piss off the people who haven't explored it already, and I don't think that 15,000 6-star shards extra would screw the game balance at all whatsoever. I don't think that a Nexus Crystal is what people were looking for, because people are looking for catalysts far more. I don't think that the order you're going to have to make your decisions is going to be in your best interest as player. I think it's just going to serve as an additional point where you can get screwed over by Kabam's RNG. And yeah, I unfortunately, even though this is a good thing ultimately, and there's no denying it, this is a change for better rewards, and this is something we didn't ask for, and this is something that Kabam is doing that ultimately is in the benefit of players. But again, Kabam kind of makes sure that this will screw over as many people as possible by their RNG. Kabam makes sure that as many people as possible get pissed off because they are quote-unquote robbed of 15,000 6-star shards. Kabam makes sure that as little people as possible will actually benefit from it, guaranteed, because even if you make all the decisions right and you leave yourself to the chance of RNG, there's still like 60% chance that you're not going to get the champion you're looking for. So again, this is ambitious idea, but rubbish execution in my opinion. But let me know what you think, or maybe I'm looking at it all wrong. Maybe I know nothing about this game and how to think, or I'm just trying to be negative, which again, objectively, I'm not trying to be negative. I do recognize that this is Kabam kind of like responding to the feedback and giving more choice to the people. The problem is that they're doing it the wrong way, and that just further implies how little Kabam are in tune with their player base. So that is a point of frustration. Obviously, this is a good change. Obviously, this is a version of what we asked, but it's one of the crappiest versions that we could have asked for, with a lot of drawbacks to it. So yeah, all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you guys have enjoyed today's video, Well then, it's Baby Yoda time. Check him out drinking that sippy cup whilst you are looking all glass-eyed at this little cute monstrosity. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, show this video to your alliance mates, encourage them to start an objective, fruitful discussion on how would you like to have this Abyss rewards increase seen instead of what we are getting right now. Because yeah, what else can we do? Just discuss, give them good feedback, and hopefully Kabam listens, because even though Kabam might have listened the headline of the article, they clearly didn't read the player feedback in full. But yeah, all that being said, also, if you managed this far in the video, please do type in comment with #BabyYoda. In that case, I will know exactly which one of you have watched the video in full before dropping a hot deuce in my comment section. But yeah, that is it for today. Like, sub, all that good stuff, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya!